Lovebugs, it's me, Loverrlee. Welcome back to another video, this time a speed build for the perfect prom night. This was a build challenge created by AngeliaAnn. So this is a little flyer that we got. It said you don't need any budget. You can have any size lot you want. You can do custom content. I don't like to do custom content, but that is possible. And you can use your own shell or take the one off the gallery, and it's under Perfect Prom. You want to use the hashtag Perfect Prom. And the cool thing is we got to choose it by our birthday month. So mine is August, so that's why I did Hollywood theme. So yeah, I'm really excited about this whole Hollywood theme. I went quite overboard. As you can see, here I am on the very top of a building. This is actually in the City Living pack. I want to say San Myshuno is the I think that's the town. Anyway, I'm trying to pretty much emulate what the building was below. So this is a 30 by 20 lot. You can pretty much place it anywhere you want if you don't want to use up this you know, basically I think it's originally it is the lot that is like the, oh gosh, what do you call it? I'm blanking on what you call it, the penthouse suite. But you can change it from a penthouse suite to whatever other kind of lot type you want. And so that's what I did. I ended up making this, surprise, surprise, I make this a restaurant just because she didn't specify what kind of lot it needed to be either. So I just wanted to have fun and make it a restaurant. But yeah, I was really excited to get this theme because I've never built anything that's like Hollywood themed, and I thought it was like a really good challenge to try to find all the objects in the game that evoke this sort of, you know, Hollywood era. And I wanted to even make it not just Hollywood in general, but like old Hollywood. So I actually went and I did make a whole family of Sims. I made a family of 8 Sims, and I might end up making a cast video just on them because it really did take me quite a while to like actually make these Sims because I based them off of photographs. But they were old Hollywood starlets. So, and you'll see I play with them in the end of this. I have screenshots with them, and I end up actually also using them for, you know, like photographs, old-time black and white photography that I put inside the building. So anyway, here I am just trying to figure out like what I want to actually do, like where I want to put these photo booths. I end up putting them outside in that like kind of red carpet entrance, quote-unquote entrance area. Of course, because this is actually inside a, you know, an apartment complex, this little area I'm making now, that is actually where your Sims will end up entering from, because that is where the elevator object is placed. So that's where your Sims actually go up, but I wanted this whole idea of like an outdoors red carpet area, and that's why I put the cameras, like the photo booths, out there, because it's meant to like evoke the whole walking the red carpet and, you know, getting your photo taken and stuff like that. So I thought that turned out pretty well for my idea. Also, I knew I wanted like a giant dance floor. Also, yeah, using those cool black and white tiles. They again really remind me of old Hollywood era, you know, 1950s Hollywood is what I was going for. Of course, the Sims that I ended up making, I made a lot of Sims that are like from a lot of different kind of eras, basically just not modern stars is what I was kind of going for. So like any of the stars that you can think of off the top of your head that you would, you know, associate with old Hollywood is the stars that I made, the ones that I could think of off the top of my head, and luckily I end up just having 8 stars. I'm trying to see if I can list them all off the top of my head, but there was, I'll start from the youngest to the oldest, how about that? I had Shirley Temple, Judy Garland, Audrey Hepburn was one that was like more of the older generation. you know, she was like 1950s to 60s or later. But yeah, I did a bunch of research on these stars too, so sorry if it's like confusing, because I'm not gonna like go into all the history, but I actually learned a lot while doing research. This is like one of the few builds that I actually did like a lot of research on. So anyway, yeah, here's the outside pretty much coming together, and then you can see in the inside here I'm gonna do the stage. But yeah, I had, let's see, I said Shirley Temple, Judy Garland, Audrey Hepburn, oh my gosh, Marilyn Monroe was actually not only you know, a model, singer, but she was also an actress. So Marilyn Monroe, that's 4. I also had, what did I say, Audrey Hepburn. Oh yeah, Elizabeth Taylor was one that I made. And then there's a few gentlemen. Who am I forgetting? Oh, you know what? I did Lucille Ball too, because she's like a comedian at that time. And then I also did, oh my gosh, what is his name? I'm sorry, I'm like just listing these off, and it's like I'm not even talking about the build. But who's the guy? Clark Gable from, you know, I think his most famous work was Gone with the Wind. And then last but not least, I actually did Charlie Chaplin, and he's from the he's from like the very early Hollywood, like black and white silent films era. So yeah, I have, as you can see, like a giant range of the starlets there, but I thought it was funny, and I ended up making them in this whole household, and now I love this household, and I'm like, maybe I should just like, I don't know, maybe I should do like a let's play with them, like build them you know, like a retro vintage glamour inspired penthouse too, and like just play them. I don't know. I just had a lot of fun with this. So as you can see here, I'm just trying to get this dance floor evenly spaced out and right. Then I decided I really wanted to have these really cool columns. So I had this idea of, if I put glass all the way around all the columns, then it would look like really cool with the light, and it would shine out, and it would look like really neat, and it ended up looking really great on the ceiling. And so yeah, and I had an idea of what I wanted to put in there too, and that comes a little later. But yeah, and here I'm using that Parenthood, that lighted mirror that came with Parenthood. You don't necessarily need the Parenthood pack, because I think that's the only object I use from Parenthood pack, but I mean, it does make the stage look really cool, and it matches that awesome star, you know, mirror as well. So I think it's worth it. But anyway, here I am bringing those columns up through to the next floor so that they're all in the same space. They're all spaced out. So, you know, if you can't tell, this build was fairly technical, with like just trying to get the layout perfect and like where I wanted to put everything. So yeah, oh, and here I am. That pole is from the toddler stuff pack. Again, not super necessary. I'm sure you can live without it, but those cool like directors looking chairs also came with the toddlers pack. So if you don't have toddlers or Parenthood, you don't necessarily need it to download this lot. But again, I didn't want to limit myself to, you know, a certain pack or anything, just because there are so few items in this game that kind of evoke, you know, 1950s Hollywood, or just Hollywood in general type of items. So that's why I decided to go with those things. But again, if you don't have those packs, I wouldn't stress about it. I don't think it would take away too much from the build. So, but that's really up to you, you know. But yeah, I'm just going around adding all these awesome cool lights too. I think those are base game lights, as far as I know. Or no, they might be city living. Sorry, they're probably city living. But anyway, this is pretty much how the outside of the building looks. I'm just, you know, spinning around, seeing how I like it. I do want to add, like, you know, these giant windows on either side. So when you're on the dance floor, you know, you can look out and you can see, you know, beautiful night, you know, skyline of all the skyscrapers and stuff. And I think it's just like really pretty. Yeah, like I said, it's one of those builds that I'm just end up being really proud of, just because I think it turns out so well, and I would definitely use this in my gameplay. I probably will bring like Kaylee here for her prom night. If you guys watch my Winston challenge, Kaylee is my Winston in that LP, so I'm probably gonna end up bringing her here because she just became a teenager, so I'm probably gonna take her here. Anyway, here I am working on the bathrooms. I'm again really proud of the way these bathrooms turned out, just because you know, sometimes bathrooms or like kitchens, they're kind of just like the last thought, you know, but I really try really hard to like match it to the theme of everything else I'm doing. So, you know, the kitchen has like this bright red color. Again, that's my color scheme, really, is the black and the white and the red for the red carpet. And I find this pretty, that pretty painting of the, you know, the city cityscape or whatever. I thought that would fit pretty well into the kitchen over there. But yeah, at this point, I realized I'm gonna be hopping around like a lot, so I do apologize. That's just the way I build, because if I don't like put something somewhere, like if I'm looking for something and I see something else and I remember, oh yeah, I want to use that, if I don't put it down right away, I forget. So I do apologize, but I'm not one of those simmers who can just like build one, you know, room at a time, because basically I have this grand vision for everything, and so it's really difficult to just build one room at a time. So I hope you understand. But yeah, anyway, I'm also decided I wanted to make a little dressing room on the other side, because, you know, I had the bathrooms, the kitchen, and then there's like that other space that was kind of empty and I didn't know what to do with. And I decided, well, why don't I do like a, you know, a dressing room for, you know, the, because that makes sense, right? If you're a Hollywood starlet, you need a dressing room. So I do wish they had a cool door, like with a star on the front. I wish they had that item, but they don't. So I just had to kind of go with what I could find. You know, I'm obviously with this build, if you download it, you're definitely gonna need all the major like expansion packs, like Get Together, you know, and Get to Work, and City Living, and those things. And then definitely I would say the most important packs for you to have is the Vintage Glamour, and oh, and then there's another one, well, like Dine Out, those sort of things. But I'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, anyway, like I said, I'm sorry I'm just like hopping all every which way, but yeah, this is sort of the Art Deco almost dressing room. And yeah, just throwing those little menus out there to make sure I don't forget to include menus. And also these really cool ice buckets. Those give off a romantic aura, so that's sort of what this whole build is supposed to be, is like it's a very romantic lot, so it has a romantic aura so that your Sims can be, you know, flirty when they go to prom. So that's sort of the idea there. Yeah, I'm really happy, like I said, with the way the bathrooms turned out. I was super happy I found those sconces. Again, I don't think they're from any pack. I'm pretty sure they were just base game, but I could be wrong. But I was really happy with the way those sconces really evoked, you know, the era as well. And yeah, the whole reason I decided to put that star statue out front, like really giant, was just because, you know, I thought that what is Hollywood most known for? I feel like they're most known for their, like, you know, galas, or like their red carpet debuts, and their you know, their movie, what do you call them? Like their movie debuts, right? So or their like award shows. So that's why I put that big star award out in the very front and like blown up super big, is because it just reminds me of this award show kind of feel. And that's what I also was going for when I was making the restaurant. So I have like these round tables that kind of remind me of, you know, again, like those just really fancy oh, I don't know, what do you call them? Like when you, oh my gosh, I really wish I had, like, I should have written down notes for myself, because now I'm like, feels silly not knowing what these things are called. But like, I don't know, like charity events, like a charity ball, you know? So that's what I was going for in this, like, you know, basically this is the, well, like where all those tables are gonna be the restaurant, right? So yeah. And what am I doing here? I don't know, I'm hopping all around, I'm sorry. I think I'm just working on the lighting right now, trying to find out like what kind of lights go the best. Again, the light that I use a lot is actually a base game light. I just saw, so it's like that cool square light. I don't know, I just thought it fit well. So yeah, so here I am. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna write, sorry. Yeah, so just doing a bunch of different hashtags. I should have cut this out, but I'm too lazy to right now, so sorry. It's just, there he goes. Okay, anyway, and here's, so I did do the chef, waiters, and host and hostess. As you can see, very, you know, what do you call it, black tie affair. And here I am. Okay, so here's the big thing. I was really wanting to put in each of these columns, because there are 8 columns, I wanted to do one of those cool things, you know how sometimes from like old movies they have like behind glass like the outfit that was in the movie. So that was sort of the idea. These are like the Hollywood starlets that I made, the 8 Sims. Those were their outfits. So that's what I decided to do for those columns. Okay, so here it is all together, finally. Yeah, so this is what it looks like outside. Very bright, colorful, well, like twinkly, you know, and very to those color schemes of black and white and red. So yeah, and so this is the little photo booth. It does work, so you know, there we go. We can see Lucille Ball taking a photo with Charlie Chaplin, and then this is Marilyn Monroe taking a picture with Clark Gable. And then here is the beautiful stage, so you can hire your DJ and they will dance the night away. As you can see, there's the photographs in the back too. I did name them, of the starlets. So I do have a portrait of each of the starlets hiding somewhere in this lot. And here they are also having fun at the karaoke machine, so you could do either, whichever you want. And this is like that dressing room. So here's Marilyn, she's getting all dolled up. Yeah, so as you can see in the background, there's also like the dresser, and so you can really get ready for the prom at this location too. So in case you needed to change something with your outfit, you can do that. And then here's the restaurant area. So you just go over to that host guy and he will seat you. And we decided to have this big table. So again, Sims, families with 8 whole Sims can definitely eat here as well. So this is the inside little kitchen there, pretty cramped, but it still works just fine. And it is an experimental menu, so everything on the menu is black plate, so that's nice and goes well with the theme. And there's the bar in the background with the beautiful cityscape. I was like really happy with the way this turned out. Again, like see those columns with how the lighting works? I just think that's so cool. Anyway, yeah, they're all enjoying their meals, very fancy meals. And as you can see in the background there, so that was like just a little like fake dressing area. You can't actually use those, you know, vanity tables, but I wanted to make it look like those posters were for the starlets, you know, so that's what I felt like those were each of those starlets that I actually made. And here's like this giant screen TV, so you can also watch movies while you eat, and then, or the piano. So there's like a lot of options that you can do. So here's just going around and seeing all the little outfits in each of these columns. I think it turned out really cool. And your Sims can't get to these either, so there's no chance of like messing them up. But yeah, so these are supposed to be one represented for each of the starlets. And I bet, you know, if you want, you can guess who's who and why they're wearing those outfits. Yeah, like, so you can kind of just go around and guess which outfit goes to which starlet as well. So there's one starlet outfit and there's one you know, portrait each of the starlets. Here's the inside of the bathroom, you know, nothing too fancy, but it does definitely give that era, you know, I feel like it works pretty cool. There's even like I did sneak in a little jukebox in the bathroom as well. And again, more of those romantic auras. So here's, you guys can even hang out in the hot tub, and then upstairs you can do the buffet tables and chocolate fountains. So yeah, I feel like this is just like a really cool place that you could have a lot of fun with and play prom with your Sims. So I hope you guys agree. Yeah, I think I had a lot of fun making this, and I hope you guys think that it looks cool. So this is also, it can be put on the other building as well. That's what that was. And yeah, this is just showing the menus, and this is where you download it. So those are all the packs you need. You don't really need all of them. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a lovely day.